Hello YouTube, this is Joel from Dream VR, and I'm here to talk about my former day job, which was running this training school, Jiaoyu, in China. But now it's getting shut down because of government policy. You may or may not have heard of the wash of regulations coming over Chinese businesses, but one of those regulations hit the education industry really hard. It's called the double reduction policy. And it's meant to reduce two things. One, outside of school pressure from the insane amount of classes that students take on weekends and holidays to boost their test scores and future academic potential. And two, the insane amount of homework that students get from their schools that keeps them up until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. So both of those things are getting cut out. And what the regulations did was they banned training school classes in math, science, English, anything that's taught in school that we can tutor out of school. They banned those on weekends and holidays. So what that did was that basically banned the entire industry because all of a training school's classes are on Saturday and Sunday and Friday evening and holidays. So they banned the only time the businesses work. So the businesses are failing and they're dying. Now my business is a little different. I'll take you inside here. And if you look inside my training school, you'll see, everything's gone. We're getting rid of everything, moving it to our house, to friends' houses, selling it. This school was made for small children, ages 2 to 12. And we did a little daycare in here. We did a lot of English classes. That was our specialty, English for kids ages about 3 to 11. And we weren't really teaching school content, but we couldn't really break into the market. We could run a small business of about 100, 150 students, but we needed like 500 to fill out this place, and we just couldn't get there. My wife and I are not super savvy, super moneyed business people. We're just teachers who started a business because we could. We had a lot of enthusiastic students who wanted this. So 3 years ago, we started this business and we did the best we could. We found out we couldn't really make it. So before all this regulation craziness happened, we sold this location to a school that does what's called K-12 training, which is math, science, Chinese, English, but they didn't really do English. And they train, primary school through high school students to pass tests. And they were really successful. They were gonna fill up this school with students, and I was happy for that because I remodeled this place, I designed it, we hired the contractors, we built it out, we put in all the fire systems, we jumped through every single hoop to get a school started, and I wanted this to go on benefiting children. So my wife and I prayed to God, please give us a partner who can just take all the classrooms and teach all, make this place profitable and make it good for children. So we did, we found a partner. And then the double reduction policy hit. And the partner decided they were gonna soldier through. They were gonna give it a try, even with all these regulations, because they were a weekend business. We were a weekday business. So this was gonna be a nice marriage of companies. We would work on the weekdays, use a couple of classrooms. They would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, use all the classrooms then. And this place would be filled and just benefiting the local kids. But then with the double reduction policy, the partner soldiered on for 6 months and realized they weren't going to get any students. These were highly skilled business people that run 17 schools here in China. And in 6 months, they got 3 students. So this really hit everyone hard. They couldn't get students, they couldn't make this work, and they pulled out. And when they pulled out, we knew we can't afford the rent anymore. We had shed off most of our staff. We had been growing smaller to make way for this new business to come in. We were just accepting, we can do what we do as teachers. We can't really do a great job marketing this place as business people. So we were going to leave that to other people to do their own thing. But they left 4 days ago. We got informed, 2 days before the end of the month that we were getting basically evicted from this place. And so now we're shutting it down, shutting down all the classes, shutting down the school. And, I was moving stuff out of here, just feeling sad, depressed. I made the design, I wallpapered the walls, I made the design for the floor, I taught all the classes, I was building a brand, it was fun, I loved my job, and it's all gone. And this is happening over and over again for people all throughout the country. Look at this. This is my brand. We trademarked Papa Joel's English. I'm Papa Joel, or I was. I don't know what's going to happen to the trademark now. We might try and move it to another business, but education is kind of on its way out as an industry. It's really hard to be in this industry right now because of all the regulations and all the uncertainty about what's going to happen next, what gets banned next. We don't know. We don't know what we can focus on in this industry that is safe from getting banned in a few months. So, what I used to do a lot of reading education. I would do guided reading, a lot like elementary school teachers in the United States do with kids just learning to read. I had this huge selection of guided reading books from, they're leveled from A to Z, and we would get kids up to a decent reading level, comparable with their American peers in, third grade. If kids would go with us, if they'd follow our program from kindergarten through third grade, they would have a very high level of English proficiency, and that was cool. But that's all coming to an end because of policy. So, here's the school. Here was my classroom. Not the prettiest classroom. My posters are kind of janky, but I taught kids to read here. I taught kids to write. I taught them how to write stories and essays, and I taught kids, vocabulary and speaking. I developed a curriculum. If you look in here, it's our last remaining kids classroom. This was really our specialty, teaching young learners. And we would just, have a line of chairs here, and we would use cartoons and songs and play games and use flashcards to teach vocabulary, basic life skills kind of stuff like furniture and food and actions and that sort of stuff. And it was really effective. It was a really effective curriculum, really effective methodology. Similar to maybe Wow English, if you look that up on YouTube, we're a lot like what that guy does. We have the same mindset, same philosophy, and it really works. These kids just learn English so fast. It's amazing. It was a wonderful job. So now this whole thing is ending. My classrooms are dark. The security cams are getting ripped out. The furniture's getting sold. I'm just really sad to be losing this. Here was our staff over the years, wonderful teachers who loved children, who were good at their jobs. I had such a good experience teaching English in China. I loved this job so much, and I wanted to keep going. It was gonna work. If this policy hadn't come out that just destroyed the ability of successful people to work, we could have gotten a partner. We could have made this place work and help a bunch of kids. But now, no. Is gone. This whole thing it's just not viable anymore as an industry. Maybe some people will figure out a way to make weekday tutoring work, but I don't think so. Yesterday, the government came out, November 1st, yesterday for me. The government came out with the notice they're going to send teams out, checking all the training schools, making sure they're following the regulations, the very regulations that destroy all their profitable activities that they used to do that kept them afloat. And everyone's invited to participate: parents, community, enemies, neighbors. Anyone can report you for breaking the ever increasing number of regulations. So it's impossible to keep up. You figure out something that is kind of a loophole and make it work, and then they'll ban that in a few months. Because really, I think what this is about is driving all education back into the public schools. The leadership said the schools should be educating the children, and that's great. They should. So for that, their real motive is to end the outside training industry. That's They're not, these regulations aren't regulating an industry, they're shutting down an industry. And I don't know who's going to survive. Maybe a few really strong players will keep their schools going and come out on top 5 or 10 years from now. Who knows? But guys like me, just trying to, make a living, it's over for us. We're done. So this was my school. It's getting shut down. I can't do it anymore. I can't afford to do it anymore. I wish I could, but I don't really know what's next. I maybe have to find a job working at a school or go home. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, school.